Try it again.
Let me see. Oh, okay. This one actually might be the one. But we are talking about emotions today, people. So we're gonna get into it once we okay, yeah, so she did end it. So we're gonna wait for Ashley to come back on. And we're gonna do the things that we know how to do, which is to engage the community and engage y'all for the betterment of you. It is for the betterment of you, the betterment of us, because we learn too with these conversations. We don't just uh, produce without learning. We're more than most times we are the first partakers in this. So I'm gonna let me see if she is back on. I'm gonna use the other phone, although it is acting very weird right now. Okay. We
And I
gonna
was saying before cut off that Drika Gates has been doing something every single morning, who I love. Oh my God. I love, 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 love her. She's been doing something every morning. I think it's called a 30-day challenge or something, where I thought you were going to join from your main page, B.
there we go.
Let's try it again. And
I was trying. I was trying. I was hoping. Wishful thinking.
it didn't work, but at first you don't succeed.
I was exactly.
Wishful thinking.
All right, hold on. We're gonna do this nice, good old switcheroo. It's gonna be real easy. Give me just a second, folks.
Okay. All right. And tonight we're going to help you guys with that. There you are. There you go, Craig.
Okay. I come on and I don't even see her now. What is going on?
Oh no, I had to get my cat. He was scratching on the door. Hey, well, hold up now.
Ow, what's
I
up?
think we got two bees in the room. Double the fun, double the pleasure.
Double the reading. Hey.
What's up?
Not much. It is so good to see y'all be in this space. Listen.
I thoroughly missed my soul family, and I was apologizing to everyone for my absence last week, but I thoroughly missed everyone, and I feel so energized and happy, ecstatic, and just I feel grateful to be back here to share these downloads with y'all. So let's go ahead and jump into it. B, how are you feeling?
Excellent. Excellent. Like you, well rested, tuned in, set. Although there has been so much happening in the world that's impacting everything around me. Um, being able to find that stability and balance has been everything. Hey girl, hey, what's up?
Hey girl, hey. Yes, balance is key. Mm-hmm. When you have balance, everything kind of just falls into place. And I'm learning that. I'm learning to balance everything. I'm learning to balance out duties, emotions, feelings, everything. Balance is key to everything. So
yes, it is.
Welcome everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. Well, it's a jacket, Soraya. I was telling Ash, it's a jacket. It's one of my comfy, cozy coats. But thank you though. It's so warm. You know it's cold here, so I had to pop this on. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. If it's your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I'm Ashley Anye, an intuitive alchemist and energy reader, and I'm just here to help y'all heal. And we're healing with humor because laughter is always the best medicine. Talk to these people, bestie. Thanks, Sarai.
I am B. Magoon. I am the tool and instrument that Spirit will use as Spirit pleases. So, and I'm not taking that away. I should say this too, because I'm not taking away from any other reader out there. I just know how Spirit uses this one, this vessel right here. Been with it since some years. I'm just gonna say that. Somebody actually thought I was 28 years old today, between 26 and 28. I said, "Oh, thank you."
Like, don't crack.
Don't crack, not at all. But as Ashley said, we are here to help you heal. Whether that's going to make you dance, make you make you laugh, make you cry. We're gonna pop those hands if we need to. Let's be clear. Okay. What Cardi say? Belt to ass. Wop. Get you in line. But no, in all seriousness, we are here to help steer you in the right direction of where Spirit is trying to take you. That's primarily our main focus, because we want to make sure that you are your best self. You put your best foot forward, and as we have already talked about, finding that stability no matter what is happening around you to continue the work.
Definitely stability, balance.
Yes.
All these things are going to help you become a better person, going to help you become a better you. And so tonight, just to segue into tonight's topic, we really wanted to bring you guys some food for thought, some food for your soul, because we know that when you guys are, wrapped up in the rat race and with work and with emotions, sometimes it's hard to translate that into how you're feeling exactly. It's hard to put a word to an emotion. It's hard to kind of articulate what we're going through when we're in the moment. And so we want to help you guys articulate your emotions. And the first thing to help you guys do that would be to put a name to an emotion, because so often it's so easy for us to say we're mad, we're irritated, we're upset, we're sad, we're depressed, right? Or we're happy, we're excited. But there are so many other words in the English dictionary that we can use to put to our emotions. It can help us pinpoint exactly how we're feeling: delighted, ecstatic, energized, engaged, invigorated, inspired. These are all words that we need to be using on a constant basis and incorporate in our vocabulary if we haven't already, just so we can definitively define exactly how we're feeling. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into tonight's topic, all right? Because we don't want you guys to stop feeling. We want you guys to feel your emotions, acknowledge it, honor the emotions, and really connect with what you're feeling. Because a lot of the times when you're mad, that is a covering for sadness, right?
Absolutely.
And I don't think that we realize that when we're mad at something or someone or something, we're actually sad about something. So we need to pinpoint what the actual something is, all right? Because that's a symptom. Let's find out what the diagnosis is, all right? So let's go ahead and jump into tonight's topic, talking about how to honor our emotions without becoming them. Honoring is a feeling. It doesn't mean letting it set up camp in your body and honing in on those emotions and never letting them go. It means that you need to honor them, acknowledge them, and then set them free. And one thing, Drika Gates does, who you've always heard me talk about and mention, what she does is she writes everything out, and at the end she burns it. And I have been incorporating that in my morning routine. You know, I always do my incantation. Hi, Liz. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
You know, I always do my incantations, but I think I'm going to start actually burning my emotions, because even though I'm writing them down, I'm keeping them in my book. And I feel like that's still keeping them with me.
Yep.
Like I'm holding on to them. So I think I'm going to start burning them, and not only burning them, but letting them go outside, like releasing them to the universe. Or something I saw another spiritualist do, I'm going to probably bury them in a plant. Because sometimes when you want to get rid of something, what do? You bury it.
Yes.
You bury it.
And also, I do want to add to that, because at one of the conferences that I went to here, one of the things that I forgot who the presenter said, or who the presenter was, rather. They said, even when you do that, stop burying those things in your yard. They said, because that's still keeping that energy around you. You should put it in a cross. That's why they said people would burn those things or do certain things at a cross way, because it's an uncrossing you, right? Put it in a place where there's no significant value to you or importance to you, especially if that's something that you're trying to release. And I think that's important, because I can't remember if I shared this, but recently I had to help strip somebody and of some certain things, and they had to get in the tub to do it, right? But what I commended, that thing that was on that person's back, I said, no, you have to go down the drain. You don't even get a chance to walk around through the room. You don't even get a chance to go out the way you came in through the door. No, you have to go down the drain. And guess what? It did, right? So that is also the power that we hold over spirits and stuff that we're trying to release. I don't know why I'm saying this, because we're talking about emotions, but either way, when you're releasing something, make sure that the burial spot is not in your home. Yeah. We call it the living room, right? Because things are living. Why are we keeping dead things in the living room? This is just now coming to me. But I'm a hush now so that we can continue to talk. But that's what came to me.
And I was going to say, to build off of what you said, I agree, because I remember early on in my days when I first started playing with magic, when I would bury things, I would go to a graveyard. Now, it may look a little suspect to some people. Sometimes you gotta be careful, because you know somebody see you digging at the graveyard. I'm like, what the hell is this person doing digging at the graveyard? But you have to, know where to go. And whatnot. But I would bury a lot of things there, because for one, it's not next to my house. For two, I know that it's away from me, and out of sight, out of mind. But yes, if you're going to be burying things, make sure you bury it away from your house. And I'm going to have to get my fan, because my phone is once again overheating. So BRB.
Yep. See, even the spirits know that this is a hot off the press conversation. It's making the phone hot. And I also do want to add to what she was just saying about burying it in the plant. When you bury things in the plant, that is you observing that thing change before your eyes. That is the purpose of burying things with the plant, because you'll get a chance to see the changes, especially if it's involving like liberation, right? Think about the energy that when we talk to plants, right? We're putting the energy that we're carrying in that plant. So if we want to see that energy change, you put it with the plant, because the plant is going to be a true indication, a physical indication of the transformation that you're wanting to take. So if you're saying, I want to grow spiritually, but your plant is still stuck on shrub, that means that there's a blockage there. And until you remove that blockage, that plant is always going to stay stuck and you're going to always be on that level. And when you remove it, that plant is going to
sprout up.
Yeah.
And also I want to also touch on how you can look at the plants in your house and determine where you are in alignment. Like if your plants are dying or if they're turning like that brownish color, do a temperature check within yourself, because the plants are going to often reflect the energy in the house. And so when I see that my plants are flourishing, I know that my energy is in alignment. Like I'm balanced, right? When I see that my plants are dying, I have to check myself. Can y'all hear this fan? I feel like it's so loud.
A little bit.
Yeah, you can hear it, right? This is so annoying. I don't know why my phone overheats. Too hot to try. Okay, so
they said, "Oh,
is that better?"
They say Ashley's coming up. Ashley's coming up here being a hot tamale tonight. Hold on, it's too hot.
Really said he thought about doing the plant thing. I just have so much on my plate to keep up. Yeah, the plant thing is so beneficial. You know, it's having a plant is like basically having pets. You have to make sure that you tend to them, that you cater to them, because plants, they have to be nurtured. Plants have to be nurtured. And I noticed that when I just left my plants for dead, basically, I thought that plants could take care of themselves when I first got my plants. And Spirit was like, no, a plant is a living, breathing thing. So, of course, I was watering my plants, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't nurturing them. I wasn't talking to the plants every day. I wasn't sitting by the plants and actually, you know, vibing with them and interacting with them on a spiritual level. Excuse me. And once I started doing that, my plants started flourishing. Let me just grab this water right quick. Hold on.
Okay.
So guys, I'm sorry if this fan is loud. I just don't want my phone to hang up. And we have to hold it as I'm talking, and then when it gets to you, I'll just put it down.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Just like our bodies, the plants hold water. And what you're doing is you're talking to the water on the inside of that plant, which is life, and it helps transform.
Definitely. Yeah, I learned that actually. One of my daughters came home, and they both came home with plants, and they said that they had some assignment they had to do where they had to like keep the plants for a week and bring the plants back to school. And you know, some of the children brought the plants back to school. The plants were dead, but the ones that brought the plants to school that were alive, they talked to the plants. They, you know, had conversations. They caressed the plants. They watered them. They tend to them. They talk to them. So it does make a difference. Okay, the topic of discussion is honoring your emotions without becoming them. And actually, we haven't got started yet. We politicking now. We're conversing now, but we're going to get into the next topic right now, actually. So, yes, honoring your emotions. It doesn't mean that you have to hold on to them. It means that you need to honor them and release them back into the universe where they can be transmuted. Because remember, if you are holding everything in, that is leaving things left to fester inside of you. And that's basically making yourself a ticking time bomb. And so anybody could just say the wrong thing to you and it's up. Like you ready to just pop off on someone because you haven't let those emotions go. Emotions have to have some place to go. Just like boiling milk, milk boiling on a pot, it's going to boil to the top to where it just explodes, right? That's how emotions are. You have to let emotions go. You have to release them some way, somehow. And it doesn't matter how you release them. They just have to be released. Some people scream into a pillow. I've seen a lot of people go to a open park and just like scream like into the sky. Some people journal. It all depends on what you feel more comfortable doing, but you have to let them out some way, somehow. Don't leave them to fester inside, because they're going to boil over, and they may boil over on the wrong person. They didn't deserve you to go off on them. So make sure you're releasing them. All right? And just note that this instantly sets boundaries between expression and attachment. Being able to express yourself, but not being attached to an emotion. Meaning not having to stay stuck. Meaning, if you're upset about something, feel it, experience it, and let it go. Because if you notice, people that hold on to things, they haven't forgiven themselves, nor have they let the emotion go. They're constantly upset about something because they haven't forgiven themselves or the other person, or they haven't successfully found a way to channel that emotion and to let it out, right? So yes, feel every emotion, know that every emotion is moving energy, moving through you, and your emotions are not you. You are not your emotions. You're just experiencing them. You're a vessel, okay? You're a vehicle. You're an avatar, right? You're a human being you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So, Earth is the hardest school. You learn the toughest lessons on Earth. But the biggest lesson you will learn will be how to master your emotions, how to overcome obstacles, how to come out on top when things are just trying to pull you down. Still being able to come out on top and overcome all of these things that were set to destroy you. And come out with a smile, which is hard. All right, life is hard. Like I said, Earth is the toughest school, but we come back here to learn lessons that we didn't master in a previous lifetime. So when feelings get stuck, it usually means that we judge them. We judged ourselves too hard. We suppressed them. We never let them go. Or we over-identified with them, meaning we made that emotion our identity. We said, okay, well, I'm mad about that, so I just must be mad in general. Okay, that situation was miserable, so maybe I'm miserable. No, I will say it again. You are not your emotions. You are experiencing them. And my mom always says it's okay to be upset. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry as long as you don't stay in those emotions. And I never understood that until I got older, what she meant by that. What do you mean don't stay in those emotions? Now it all makes sense. You can't stay mad. You can't stay sad. You can't stay stuck, because your emotions are directly connected to your life. So if you're staying mad, your life is going to reflect that. If you're staying sad, your life is going to reflect that. All right. So don't suppress them. Try not to judge them, and don't over identify with them. All right. Because what you don't feel fully will try to live with you permanently. What you don't feel fully will try to live with you permanently. That's why you have to feel everything. You have to experience them. Okay. Locate where you're feeling it in the body. Where do you feel these emotions? Are you tense in the shoulders? Are you tense in your heart? Are your ankles tense? Try to locate where you're feeling these emotions at. And I guarantee you'll be able to understand, and understand what you're experiencing and why you're experiencing that, right? And breathe into it without fixing it. Sometimes we as humans want to have all the answers and want to fix everything right then and there, like instantly, but you don't have all the answers. Sometimes we're working through things and we're learning why things are the way that they are. And it's okay not to have all the answers, right?
Mm-hmm.
In life, we have people journeying through our life and search only to find out that the road traveled ends where it begins. Oh, I like that. The road traveled ends where it begins. I like that. And in the end, it all works out. And if it doesn't, then it's not the end. And that's another thing we have to remember. In the end, it all works out. And if it doesn't, that means it's not the end. Everything happens for a reason. So, like I was telling you guys earlier, whatever feels right for you guys to, get those emotions out, shake, scream, write, journal, whatever you think feels right, speak it to the earth. Speak it to that entity that you feel like is causing these emotions. You have to remember every emotion is tied to an entity. Bestie, is it not? Every emotion is tied to an entity. So if
Yes,
you feel
it
that
is.
entity of temptation coming on, listen, okay, I ain't got time for this, all right? You go back and wish you came from, okay? Because I'm trying to be focused here. Focused, man. So if you
Okay.
speak to that emotion, because that emotion is tied to an entity. It's actually tied to a spirit, okay? Spirit of temptation, spirit of hate, spirit of seduction, y'all know. So speak to that entity. Yeah, I get anxiety too. I get anxiety a lot. And you know what's good for that? Ashwagandha. Get some ashwagandha, realists. That is great for anxiety. And people want to act like having anxiety is like uncanny. It's not. If you are living on earth, you're supposed to have anxiety. You're supposed to, especially at a time like this with all this ish going down in the world, you're supposed to have anxiety. If you don't have anxiety, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you're not feeling your emotion. I'm not putting that emotion on anyone, but I don't think it's possible to live on earth and not experience anxiety at some point in your life. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Earth is the hardest rule.
Yeah, I was going to actually say that because it's a part of. Okay, so let's go back in time for a bit, right? Mm-hmm. When they say we were cavemen and people and all that, right? We basically had the same instincts as animals, basically. Yeah. And an animal's instinct is never wrong. It's literally a sensory thing that is picking up vibrations of danger, of well, let's face it, even with love, right? They do the love calls and the flashes and stuff. All of those things are sensory things. Nobody tells them, okay, now it's time for mating. It's an inherent knowing that they have. And so that's what emotions are. And so many people try to shut off that side of them and then wonder why is everything going wrong in my life. And it's because you're shutting off your senses, your emotions. And as somebody that's an empath, like, oh my gosh, when we sense the things. And so tell an empath not to feel, that's almost like telling a fish not to breathe underwater. Or okay, hold your breath and live. What? No, we're going to feel these things. We're going to tell you how we feel. And we have to stop in today's society. We have to stop telling people like, oh, F your feelings, right? No, because if we all did that, it would be the equivalent of shutting off our humanity side. And we already see what shutting off your human side looks like. Spirit shouldn't have to send us any more reminders. Okay. But here we are. But I'm gonna get off that platform and I'll give you back the mic.
Apple, you there? I know she's talking ish under her breath too. But no, it's so true. Gosh, I think that, like Willa said, like we have to get more comfortable being uncomfortable and speaking about things that are uncomfortable, because it's not uncanny, to experience all these different emotions like anxiety, depression, fatigue, and things of the likes. And it's just an emotional cycle that happens, but it's okay as long as we know how to channel those emotions. There ain't nothing wrong with being depressed as long as you know how to channel that depression. There ain't nothing wrong with having anxiety as long as you know how to channel that anxiety. Because like Let them come. Let them come up. Yes. Let it come up and come out.
Yes.
Let it come up and come out. And come out. I always say that.
Baby.
You know, boo. So yes, release, return the energy into the universe. Like Bestie said, go through a crossroads. A lot of spells are done at crossroads. And like Bestie explained so well early when he said that, the crossroads, it takes the energy away from you and it's left at the crossroads. That's why so many spells are done at crossroads or graveyards, all right, or railroads, because it gives you that chance to leave it. As they say at church, leave it at the altar. Okay. Leave it at the altar. And that emotion, that stress, that burden is gone because you've placed it down. Right? So yeah. Yeah. Listen, I still have a therapist. Okay. I still have a therapist because life in itself is hard enough. And it's good to have that unbiased person you could, bounce ideas off of. It's so easy to talk to your friends and family. Let me just say that. But it's good to have someone who has no dog in the race, who's completely out of the loop, who doesn't know you from a can of paint. They can give you constructive criticism. So I highly advise everyone, if you haven't already, to seek therapy. Seek a trusted source. So let's keep it moving. So so burning energy doesn't mean exploding on people. It means letting the body finish the emotional cycle. That's why we talked about burning things, like burning your thoughts or burning what you have written down and releasing it back into the universe. That doesn't mean that we're exploding on people. It means that we're burning what we're feeling so that we won't explode on people. We're burning those emotions and releasing them back into the universe because we're all interconnected. Think about it. We're all connected, on some humanly level. And so sometimes what you're feeling may not necessarily be your emotions. You may be feeling the emotions of the person that you're connected to in a relationship with, or the person that you're so closely living with. You just never know. That's why it's important to do those temperature checks and check in with yourself. Don't explode like Mr. T. Yes, child. Do not explode like Mr. T.
Come on. I pity the fool. Come on.
Don't explode. Okay? I don't think that we're taught this in school. Oh, we're taught emotions, sad, happy, glad, but how about teach us how to channel those emotions and what to do with them once we feel the sad and the glad and the happy, right? So, deep exhale through the mouth. And just breathe, all right? Visualize the emotion leaving as smoke or light. And you can say this right here when you guys are visualizing the emotion. This feeling has served its purpose. I release it with gratitude. This feeling has served its purpose. Now I release it with gratitude because you're getting rid of that emotion that's trying to stay stuck to you. You're releasing it back into the universe. And this is how energy gets stuck in the first place. Trauma is nothing but an interrupted emotional response. That's all trauma is, an interrupted emotional response to something that has happened in the past that you haven't let go of. And that's why it's so important to heal. You will hear us incorporate healing in every segment and every podcast because it is directly correlated to how your life ends up. You have to heal. Healing is so essential in every aspect of your life. All right. So yes, that's all I had. Just make sure that you guys are naming those emotions. Make sure that you are releasing them and asking yourself every day, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling these emotions? And what can I do to change the feelings? If you're feeling negative emotions, what can I do to change these emotions? Just ask yourself that every day. All right, my beautiful soul family.
Listen, I'm sitting up here like, where do I start? Because I had so many thoughts running through my head. So like I do have to address the comment. Let me go back because some hold on. When my life said in life, we as people journey throughout life in search, only to find out that the road traveled that the road traveled to ends where it begins. And so and I was reflecting over here because one of the things that I had to learn was about endings and beginnings. And one of the things that I learned was that it all ends and begins with you.
Mhm.
So when we're talking about releasing emotions, wh- how are you releasing, and then are you truly releasing that thing? Otherwise it's going to remain with you.
Mhm.
And then it was something that you said, I was trying to remember it just recently or right before you ended, about honoring. That's what it was. You were thanking or acknowledging that emotion. That I think I believe you said, I acknowledge this emotion. It has served its purpose, and now it must leave. Right, something along those lines. Well, there's something that I do physically, and it's helped me, especially when I start getting anxious. I was like, wait, hold on, because I catch myself in the morning. I'm like, where's this coming from? This thing is not about to make me anxious, or and I blow it out. You can thank the Green Mile for that one. I really love that movie because when he said that there was a part where and it always plays in my head. He was like, I had to take it back, boss. I had to take it back. I had to take it back, boss. I had to take it back. And he was just blowing it. And I was like, so many people misunderstood what he was saying. Because how many times have we released something and we're like, oh my gosh, I never took that back. So it manifested, right?
Yeah.
And guess where it came from? Out of a deep emotion that we should have taken care of. And more than likely should have taken care of years ago.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
why it is hard for people to forgive people because they hold on to that emotion, not
Mhm.
realizing that it truly becomes a block, not only spiritually, but physically.
Mhm.
You can go to a nursing home right now, and I guarantee you'll find a lot of people that has dementia or
Your volume went out, B.
what about now?
Now I hear you.
I
Yeah.
had this message. I can't move my hands because it's picking up my hand gestures. So I have to sit like a news reporter now. Um, but how many times have we, if you go to a nursing home, you will see a lot of people with dementia, with a lot of unexplained diagnosis.
Mhm.
And some people will call it a spiritual attack. Yeah, self-induced spiritual attack
Mhm.
because of emotions that was held on.
Yeah.
Think about how many times we've celebrated people aging over the age of 100, 118, 107, 120. You know how they got there? Because yes, because they changed something in their life, but I guarantee they did not let mundane things irritate them to the point where they were holding on for it for life.
Mhm.
There was one couple that said they've been together for so many years because they learned how to love and forgive. And what a lot of people don't understand about love is one thing about love is you have to understand of how to let things go.
Yeah.
Because people will hold on. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did this in front of my mother and da 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 and da da. You trying to get rowdy and about it, and holding on to it, holding on to it, and it's like, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's hurting.
Yeah.
Because I learned at a very early age that holding on to anger gave me a headache.
Mhm.
Literally. That's why I said, like, I'm so self aware. When I'm depressed, my temperature drops. When I'm angry, my temperature rises. That's why I like to stay peaceful. Baby, it's 75 degrees here, baby. We not too hot, we not too cold, okay? When I'm like this. And so whenever you're self-aware, you can monitor what you're holding on to and what you need to let go of,
Yep.
right? And so even even when it comes to memory, right? You know the term that we say, I can forgive, but I'll never forget.
Mhm.
We don't forget it because we remember the emotion that was birthed out of that thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we forget it, like, oh, we had that conversation. Oh, okay. You
Mhm.
know, it'll just pass right on through. But we never
Mhm.
forget how, and there's the other saying, people may people may forget what you said to them, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Again, that is emotion,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? And some people will actually, if you say something so profound to them at that moment of their life, they're going to remember,
Mhm.
right? I have to share this because so you can paint, so you can get what I'm about to say next. So I'm going to say it, like I'm gonna say it now. But sometimes you can say something to somebody when they felt one way, and your words can literally transform that energy, and they now start to feel it, even feel differently, even if it's months, weeks, days later.
Mhm.
So one thing is, I used to go to my with my mom back home in our hometown to teach Bible study at the prison. And how I talk to everybody here is how I talk to anybody, especially those that are in bondage. Let me tell you something, because I'm all about freedom, and I understood the importance of freedom so that spirit can move freely. I've always understood that. And so I remember, and I specifically remember this night, we went to two different rooms. One was the room where men were locked up for murdering people. Basically, we were in the room full of murderers. And then the second was just a regular room. Now I can't remember where this one guy was, but I can say this: one of the guys that was in the room for murder is now out, and I know that for a fact because I knew him personally. This
Wow.
other guy came to me, I would say maybe a year and a half later. I had moved to a different area, an area an hour away. And I'm at my new job and I'm just helping people. And we had a food bank. So I'm helping taking boxes to the cars. And this man looked at me and he said, "Oh my God, it's you. It's you." And I'm like, okay. And to paint that picture, you remember in Coming to America where he was at the game, and that man said, "Oh my God, it's the Prince of Zamunda." He's like, so that's how it was, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, yeah, it's me. How do I know you?" Right? Because I'm like, how do I know you? And he's like, "Man, you came and preached to us in the prison. And he said, and I held on to what you said. He said, because I was trying to get parole. He said, and it just didn't look like it was going to happen for me. He said, but you told us that we have to see ourselves out. We have to speak it and believe it so that it can happen for us. He said, now I don't know what the other guys did. He said, but I started doing it. He said, because everything else I tried didn't work. He said, and I'm not going to say that God didn't hear my prayers. He said, because I believe he sent you for me. He said, because one of the other things you told us is, okay, so when you get out, what is your plans? What are you going to do? Don't think beyond you just getting out. Because what I told them was, even though you're in prison now, don't just stop with, okay, God, I really want to get out of this prison. Okay, so when you go out, then what? What is your plan? God, I really want to get out of this prison. Then I want to get a stable job. Then I want to get a stable home. I want to get away from the area that I was in that got me in here in the first place. I want to really start my life renewed. He said, I really took that to heart. He said, I just moved up here. He said, and I already got my own place and I just got hired. He said, so I'm here because I needed some food because I haven't got paid yet. He said, and then after I get those things, then I'm working on getting a car. He said, in between that, I'm going to find me a nice church to go to so that I can continue this walk because I truly believe that God let me out because I wasn't supposed to get out. Because he said that he had gotten out, like, say he was supposed to be there for 7 months. He got out in 3.
Wow.
So your words can be so profound to somebody that no matter what place that they're in could change the trajectory of their future. And like I said, this man was overjoyed and I had even forgotten him. And after he said it, I was like, okay, I remember saying that. So obviously you were there. And that goes along with saying this. You never know who's around to listen to you or who's watching you. So it's always important for you to check your emotions for that. Because somebody can say, oh, wow, like this person is really not. Kevin Gates. Here we go again. Like, for those who missed it, I talked about how he visited my place of employment and his energy was just off, right? I will always remember that. The people that was fanning out for him will always remember that. Like, yo, like he came in my job and man, he didn't want to have nothing to do with us. Like, I don't even know if I really want to support his music like that. You see what I'm saying? So now you losing out on things because your energy was off. So and when we're talking about, like, I know some of you, if you're just tuning in, you may have missed Ashley saging, right? That don't just clear out negative spirits or what or cleanse the air. It changes your mood. It's a part of the mood enhancement, mood clearing. When you call back your energy, it's because of why? Because you have poured out so much that you're starting to feel a certain type of way, and you need that healing energy that you put out to come back to you. That's the same thing for those of you who've been in the church. When you see people, after the preacher preaches and the people come up to pray for them, it's because they have given out so much. Now they need their energy back. So I just heard it's the law of it's not cause and effect. The law of return. The law of return. Okay.
Law of gravity? Law of gravity or no?
No, it's not gravity. It's just the it's another word, but I'm hearing the law of return for sure. It's like
Oh,
you
cause and effect?
it's sort of like cause and effect, right? But it's like you once you put it out there, you got to get it back, right? Somehow, right? It comes back to you.
Attraction. Attraction, there you go.
Yes.
Thank you, Soraya.
But yeah, so let me get into these cards. I already feel like I've already been
We
tapping.
had some comments in the comment section. I don't know if they were.
Yeah, I can't see them, so please read them to me. It stopped on when Realist said stars 100 and fire. That's the last thing I see.
So okay, now my comments froze. Yeah, my froze. I'm sorry, guys. My phone it heats up like every now and then it freezes the comments.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies.
Let me see if I can.
I can see the comments now, but the earlier ones are like frozen because I saw when Soraya said attraction.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If you want to repeat your comment, maybe we can see it that way too.
Yeah, if you guys were trying to get something expressed earlier, you can repeat it if you're still on.
Yeah.
Juicy says hi.
Hi. Oh, now you camera shy. So the first card that's coming out is the Four of Swords in reverse. Get out those negative feelings. Because I want to show it to you. I'm hearing stop feeling victimized. Because remember, you hold the power to either staying in the energy that you're in or releasing it and letting it go. Mm-hmm. You got to let it go. Next is followed by the Two of Wands. Again, what action are you going to choose? Are you going to stay there or are you going to let it go and move on? Because what did I remember the example that I used earlier about, like, I think it was like a couple fighting, right? Mm-hmm. And people literally hold on to things like that, especially family. Yeah. That's why we have a lot of family members that fight each other. It's because they're holding on to stuff that they should have let go years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's not oftentimes something that's that's not forgivable. Everything is forgivable. Mm-hmm. Everything is forgivable. It may take a lot of grace. I'm going to say this, but everything is forgivable. And while I'm talking, I'm seeing like a depiction of Cain and Abel, right? And if you know that story, or if you don't know that story, I should say, it's where you have one brother who kills his other brother out of jealousy. And the thing about it is that God talks to the other brother and said, "Where's your brother?" And his response is, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Yes, absolutely. And in that moment, it shows that whatever is done to somebody else, what you said earlier, Ashley, cause and effect. You can cause somebody to be in an emotion, that will affect them for the rest of their lives, right?
Mhm.
So that's why we have to be careful with the words that we say and the actions that we do towards other people. And
Mhm.
in this case, his brother killed him, so he no longer was in existence. But it further in the story further says that God says, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground, right? That says a lot about the pain and anguish of somebody. Your pain and anguish can be so deep that it goes into the earth and it goes into the spiritual realm and crowd. Like,
Mhm.
think about, this is Black History Month. Let's get into it. We know what happened in this country, in the United States of America. We know about the certain cities that was drowned, or that's underwater right now, and some people think that they're lakes. And what is it, Lake
Mhm.
Lanier in Atlanta, where people
Mhm.
don't go swimming, but those who do don't may or may not come back alive, right?
Mhm.
Those people are crying out and just, okay, revenge, right? Restless souls. Those are emotional energies that are keeping them here. They're locked here because they didn't get a chance to move on,
Mhm.
right? Don't be a lost soul in living format.
Mhm.
Don't walk around here holding being bitter, missing out on life because of a $2 word that somebody said that's not even worth 50 cents of your time.
Not $2.
A lot of people would ask me, especially when Ashley and I were in school, a lot of people, when I would get angry with somebody, people, I've shared this before, but I used to cut people off without letting them know. And they were like, well, why you cut them off? I'm like, listen, I don't have to tell you I'm cutting you off. Does I was
Okay.
like, does the light company says, hey, we're about to cut you off in 2 minutes. Just wanted to let you know. Bye. And then your lights cut off. No, they just cut you off, right? So, and I was doing that because at that point, well, one, that was a boundary. You're not going to cross my boundaries and continue to cross it because you're making me feel a certain type of way. I'm not going to allow you to continue to put me in that energy, right? That's what I was
Mhm.
saying. But two, people understood that, oh, I made you feel some type of way. Yes, you did.
Mhm.
And then for others, if I'm not going to say if I forgave you, because I would forgive, right? But there people would do some really nasty stuff to and towards me, and I would
Mhm.
forgive them and act like nothing ever happened. And some people didn't understand it, and I said, well, listen, that forgiveness was for me.
Mhm.
I I learned a long time ago, baby. Why am I holding on to something? Whoo, I can let it go. That was last month. Child, what we doing? What we eating? Where we going? Are we what we going to the caf for? You going to that party at Legends? What we
Right.
wearing?
I love it.
Right. Baby, I
Bring
would
it back.
I would dance it off. Even had a class, kid you not, had a class where we talked about dancing your emotion, because and my professor said, um was explaining to us, rather, that when you express your emotion through movement, you feel it even more, and whatever you need to release, you release, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's why the arts is so important,
Mhm.
because the arts teach you how to release in the artistic form that you are gifted with, which is why it's important for you to extend and use your gifts no matter what they are.
Yeah.
If it's artistic, don't be afraid to show it, because your artistic gift could be the reason why somebody is liberated. Think about how many artists that we had. The whole Harlem Renaissance was nothing but art. And baby, do we not enjoy it because so many things were expressed and released during that time, and it caused people to be liberated. It caused the future artists to write about the liberation that they had based off of other people's struggles that said, we will not be bound. What they say, the revolution will not be televised. It won't be televised because it's something that you actually live through. It's something that you experience out of your lived experiences, which translate to other things. It translates to books. It translates to policies. It translates to work ethics and TED Talks. Let's be real. You might be Joni from the corner now, trying to figure out your life. But you might be Joni the multi-millionaire based off of your experiences. And guess what? The next card that came out is the Six of Wands. Notoriety. And it's not just notoriety from the spiritual realm. It's notoriety because it's a celebration because people can see where you came from. Oh, I used to remember when, but now look at them now. Liberated, freedom. I'm hearing that church song.
Freedom.
No, the one where it says like, I'm no longer bound. There's no more chains holding me. My soul is my soul is rested. It's just a blessing. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm free. It's one of them old songs. You know how old mama is. But it's true. Like you get to that place of liberation where you don't have to worry about things, other things that people worry about. I'm not worrying about those things. Why? And it's because you train your body to react in certain ways. You train it to automatically release. You train it to automatically, transform that energy. When you do it so much that it becomes like breathing, and people tell you bad news, and you're like, okay, well, thank you for that. And they're looking at you like you just took that as if somebody said, hey, and you said, hey. Right, I did because I've already trained myself. I've already been able to process what was happening. And let's be clear, when it's something so detrimental, most of the times, like I said earlier about instincts, your body will already know what's happening before you get the news.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, a little under a month after my father passed, I had a cousin to pass in a car accident. And the weekend that he passed, like he passed away on a Sunday. Friday, I was feeling it. And I'm like, what is going on? Something's off. Something in the air is off. Something in the energy field is off. What is happening? I was picking it up then. Your instincts will pick up things. And it's for you to understand and learn how to either reverse and change what is happening if you catch it and can understand it, or to understand and prepare yourself for what's about to happen. And that's happened on several instances, right? For me, that's why I know that I'm a medium. Because baby, why am I picking up death? Excuse me, hello, I'm not the death angel, not my assignment, but hey, it's here. Okay. And so that's why it's important to keep your energy clear. And I'm hearing the word pure. That's something else. It was something else that you said, Ashley. And I began to think about it in the way of cleansing your energy is like taking a bath. The mental health. You was talking about mental health.
Okay.
Going to a therapist is like taking a bath because you're cleaning your energy. Now, for some people, depending on how you live your life, some people may not take a bath every day. They may hit the sweet spots, as some of my friends used to say. Hit the sweet spots and can keep going. But eventually, you can't hit the sweet spots no more. You got to submerge yourself in that water. I know older people that say, I don't have to take a bath because I don't do anything. I just sit here all day. But after a few days, they realize, hey, I need a bath. I need a cleanse, right? That's what we do with our minds. We understand that we go through so much for so long, right? We take in a lot of energies. We see a lot of things. Depending on if you watch the TV, the news, or you hear it, right? We're taking those things on that will cause us to react, and we gotta let it go. We gotta cleanse and refresh our energies. So it's like taking a bath, because guess what? It's refreshing when you do those things.
Yes.
It's very refreshing. That is how you get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night, because you've unpacked and let some things go. You let some people go, right? And I was talking to somebody last Thursday, and she began to talk to me about everything that's going in her life. And I said, well, one of the things that you got to realize is that you got to let it go. One of my mottos is, if the situation is nothing that can take the air out of my lungs and the blood out of my veins, baby, I'm not worrying about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Baby, I can come from this. I can't come back from the grave. I mean, unless spirit says, hey, I need you to wake back up. Right. like you ain't done. I don't know why you thought you was going to sleep. Get right back up. Right. You know, so so it's like, unless spirit says that, baby, I'm not going to allow these mundane things to keep me there, right? To hold me in bondage when I know I can let it go and live in freedom. I've been trying to pull more cards, but apparently this was going to be a 3-card reading. So that's what I'm getting.
Let me just read you some of the comments since you've been downloading us with everything. Realist said, ain't nothing like that experience. Energy reset.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the universe working. Yep. Universe stay working. Universe stay steady working.
Stay working.
Wait, that was it? That was a whole card read?
That was the whole card read. That's why I said that's why I said it's a 3-card pull. I was shuffling and that was coming. I said, oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. But you know what though? Honestly, I like that, because sometimes spirit just wants to get the message said, heard, acknowledged, and wants us to get to work. I like that. Sometimes it doesn't need to be all drawn out. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Straight shooter, no chaser. And honestly, I think building off of what you said, like, nothing, if it can't take me out, as far as like take me off this planet, I'm not letting it stress me. I'm not letting the sweat drip off of my forehead, because you can come back from anything, from betrayal, okay, from backbiting, from people backdooring you. You can come back from anything, and it may not feel like it now, or while you're going through it, while you're in the the thick of it, but I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you guys, every day gets better. Every day gets easier. Every day gets easier. And it won't feel like you're at the end of that tunnel until you start channeling those emotions, acknowledging them, and honoring them. You have to honor them. You have to honor the emotions. You have to thank the emotions for showing up. And you have to know when to kick those emotions out. And then never let them overstay their welcome. Never let your emotions overstay their welcome. I like that. That was such a quick read. I'm like sitting here like waiting for the rest of the cards, and you like, that's it.
That's it. And look, and I'm gonna say this. Another reason why you should let go, especially of those extreme emotions, because baby, I don't got time for wrinkles and gray hairs unless listen, yes, for pure vanity. I'm not ashamed to say it. You not about to stress me into a gray hair. Baby, I'll be like, ooh, come back, color. We not about to have extra. We're not about to have a gray hair pop up out of this skull because you feel like you need to stress me. Not today, Satan.
I come back, color. But that is so true, and people fail to realize
Yes.
stress is the number one ager. It will age your ass. Stress will age you. Stress, depression, all of that. That's why you have to feel through your emotions. You have to feel through them, and also if you're around people who you know are going to take it there, who are going to always up the ante and try to, like, double the trouble, let them go. Let them go. You don't need anything adding to what you already have on your plate. Life itself is already hard. And people try to always, balance out their emotions as well as others. If it's not adding, it's subtracting. If it's not an asset, it's a liability.
Talk about it.
Let it go. Let it go. It is not your job to carry other people's emotions. They have to learn that. And if they haven't learned it, it's not your job to teach them. That is their individual soul journey, individual soul lesson. Let it go. L-I-G it, like Ice Cube said, and let it go, people. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So I want to end with this, honestly. Well, first off, I want to ask if anyone wants to do a personal reading with me. I know we have a lot of new people on, so, or that just joined, rather. So at the end, towards the end of our conversation, and after B has pulled cards, we offer a couple of people to be able to get a personal reading from B. So if anyone wants to receive a personal reading now, mind you, you do not have to have this personal reading on the live right now. You can book it, schedule it, and you can have it after the live has ended or whenever you have time. It doesn't have to be right now if you don't feel comfortable coming on and telling your question, but we do want to give someone the opportunity to be able to have a one-on-one session with B. So if you guys do want to have that one-on-one session, make sure that you are sliding into his DMs. And I'm going to go ahead and pin your Cash App, B.
Okay.
B Royal too, right?
Yes.
Because it will be 11/11 for that personal reading. If you guys do choose to book it, and again, it does not have to be on the live. You guys can schedule that with B after we have uploaded the podcast. You guys can slide in his DM and schedule that. But we just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to do that, because at the end, we always want you guys to feel like you have that personal one-on-one, and you can get any questions answered that were not covered throughout the duration of our podcast. Because when B does the general reading, it may or may not hit. It may or may not resonate with you. And if you want that personal reading, there's his Cash App. And you'll have his DM as soon as I upload the video. So I want to leave you guys with this, because I think that we have covered so much today. And I know it was a lot of information. And if you don't remember anything, remember this. I honor every feeling without becoming it. I honor every feeling without becoming it. I allow energy to move through me, not live inside me. I allow energy to move through me, not live inside me. And last but not least, I trust my body to release what my soul has outgrown. I trust my body to release what my soul has outgrown. And that is tough when you know that you have outgrown something, a situation, a relationship, a job. Sometimes that's tough. But know that there is always something better on the other side of fear. There's always something better on the other side of fear. Fear is only a barrier that prevents you from advancing, from elevating. And once you get over that barrier, that's where your blessings lie. So never be afraid to go over that barrier.
Yes.
We can bring them to the stove, but they got to fix the plate. That's right.
Okay.
We can bring them to the stove, but and also realize, it's not our job to fix everyone's plate. We can cook for them. We can add the seasoning, the special sauce, but it's their job to fix their own damn plate.
Okay.
It's their job because only they know how much they can eat. Okay?
That's like,
they know how much they want.
That's like some friends that I had when I was living in Jersey. And for Easter, I will never forget it. I went to his mom's house. It was a whole Puerto Rican style Easter. And I was like, hey, I'm with my cousins, baby. His mom looked at me and said, I fixed your first plate. But after you sit down and eat the first forkful, you're no longer a guest. So you fix your next plate. I said, oh, yes, ma'am. Okay. I said, yes, ma'am. Okay. I said, okay. I said, I understand. She said, okay. And then she gave me a hug. So, yeah, that's real.
Miss you being in Jersey. I so miss you being so close. Oh my God, I wish you were still in Jersey. Because it'd be so easy for me to just like, hey, you want to hang out? Bet. I'll meet you at wherever. Like, I miss being able to just link up with you.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? I miss that, but soon.
I mean, guess where I'm at? I'm on my way to the train station. See you in like 3 hours.
Oh my God. It makes me really value the time that we had at Appalachian. Because I'm like, it was so easy for us to hang out after class, before class, on the weekends, holidays, whatever. And it's like when you get wiser, I'll say, not older. Right. You have to remember that. You still have to incorporate that time with your friends. And that's why I love doing this podcast with you every Tuesday, because I know I'm going to see you and be able to catch up with you and see how your day was, how your week was. It's really meaningful for me, doing this. Just so
same here. Say right.
It's meaningful for me to do this podcast with you, because I'm able to link up with you. And Ash, Ash I haven't seen since homecoming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're due for a reunion. We're due for a reunion. So anyways, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate, love, and value you guys. As always, this will be up for you guys to be able to like, share, and comment if it resonated with you. And hey, do we still have the Cards and Conversations fit? We still have the fit, right?
We do. I'm like, I can go get it really quickly because it's still winter and we still have t-shirts.
Still winter, but we also have the t-shirts. Do we not have the t-shirts too?
Yes, we have t-shirts.
Thank you, Brillis. I appreciate it. I'm a little under the weather. Well, no, let me not claim that. I'm not claiming sickness. My voice is really scratchy today. I keep having to clear my throat for some odd reason.
And I would like to share with the public that this has gone through at least 2 to 3 washes already. And it still looks bright.
Yeah.
And it's still thick and heavy. Yeah, it's really nice. Love the quality. Love the company that we that we went with.
And question, do we also have the short sleeve as well for the summer?
Yes. So the t-shirt, the t-shirts are short sleeve, and we even have small ones for the little kiddos. So, they need to know about the cards and the conversations too. We've talked about that.
It's never too young. Listen,
never.
I have an oldest daughter now who's 13 talking about let me pull cards on that. I'm like, excuse me, let me pull cards on that. So listen, it's never too young. Because that's
Right.
teaching them how to trust their own instincts and go within. That's teaching them how to go within and trust their own instincts. So yeah, Rilla said he appreciates you as well, Brody. So yeah, we also have the gear or the fit for the children as well. So make sure you guys check out. I'll have the link in my bio. I'll link that as well. I'll link how you guys can purchase the fit. And get it before summertime comes, because I'm sure y'all are gonna want to have that for just, roaming around the house or like running to the store. Like, it's cute. It comes in almost every single color, right? Bestie? It's black. I know I saw the burgundy,
blue, purple,
the blue,
greens.
So,
yeah,
it comes in almost every color. So pick one of those up, and we will see you guys same time, same place, next Tuesday, 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. Cards and Conversations, where every episode. Why am I so damn fucking loud? I'm like screaming into the phone. Where every episode unfolds a deck of intriguing discussion. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Oh, yes. Peace.
Bye, y'all.